Hello, and welcome to the Sanibel Captiva Guide podcast. Today, I would like to welcome, I'm not sure who I'm welcoming, apart from the fact that it's Calli Johnson of Bailey's General Store. Before we started this podcast, I actually asked what her titles were. Can you remind me of a few of them? There was about 8 or 9, so let's start with that. How many?
Yeah.
So got.
The easiest one is wine steward.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
The first time on the podcast, Calli said, can I bring some wine? And we're like,
Absolutely.
Okay, bring it on.
It's the afternoon.
This is true,
Absolutely.
right? It's 3 o'clock, I think, so we're good.
Wine steward. If we have any sort of issues that arise at the store, I am in charge of problem solving.
Right.
Unless it's mechanical, then it's usually Richard or Dane. And then our HR person has been out, so I've been hiring. So if you know anyone that needs a job.
Looking for a job at Bailey's General Store.
Great place to work. Call
And then
Calli.
if you ask my sister, I'm the chaos coordinator.
Okay.
The chaos coordinator.
Not that there's much chaos at a family-run business.
No, never. Everything just is swimming along.
Never.
What is your given name? It's
Callaway.
It's Callaway.
Yes.
That is cool. I love that name.
Thank
Is that
you.
from anything?
It is a family last name from my dad's side that was going to die out.
Okay. So you become, right. Does anybody call you Callaway?
Yes.
Really?
Usually when I'm in trouble.
Right. Okay. As usual.
But if you're in trouble and you don't care, then you're not in trouble, right? So
That's a good way to look at it. But most people call you Calli.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome. So, if you don't know, then obviously Bailey's is one of the oldest businesses on the island, if not the oldest, still standing or still going, and family-run store back from the late 1800s. And so, what's your lineage as far as the family tree?
great question. We joke and tease my dad and call him Richard Bailey because he's the more outgoing person out of my parents. But actually, our grocery store lineage is through my mom. My great-grandfather, Frank Bailey, started the store as a packing and shipping facility in 1899. And then his 2 sons, they had 3, but the 2 that were interested, Sam and Francis, took over the store about mid-century. And my mom is the middle out of Francis's kids.
Right.
We put a ton of effort into bringing you quality content. So if you would like to help us share our love of the islands, here are several easy ways. Firstly, you can support us on Patreon. You could purchase an island souvenir from our Etsy store. You can metaphorically buy us a coffee, which is an easy way to donate a couple of bucks.
Don't you prefer tea?
Well, I do, kind of. Also, like and subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with all things Sanibel and Captiva. And finally, show some love to our sponsors. Let them know we sent you. All the links are in the description below.
So your mom is Francis's daughter.
Yes,
Her name is
correct.
Mead, and she
Yes.
can quite often be seen running around the store.
Yes,
So-
she's the easiest find because she's kind of sneaky. She runs under the radar. She just does whatever she wants to do. We like it that way. She likes it that way.
Right. And then you have 2 siblings,
Yes.
which is Dane.
Yes, Dane, which you guys already
Yeah,
had.
Dane. We did interview Dane, so go back. I'm not sure which podcast
I think it's
that
one
was.
of our most viewed episodes. True story.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to go back and
Pressure's
tell
on,
them
I
that.
know. Pressure's on.
Well, we always joke that, we go around to the little shops and all the young gals working at some of the stores in Bailey Center are always really happy to see Dane.
Yes. Which
So
our
Dane does the maintenance side of things.
Right.
Yes.
He's Mr.
fixing
Fix
and-
It, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Our daughters work at Spoondrift, which is in the Bailey's Plaza, and
Yes.
they notice when Dane comes in. Don't. I hope Brooke and
You're in
McKenna are
trouble.
listening
You're in
because
trouble.
I'm in big
You're
trouble
pretty-
right now.
You're pretty safe. They
Right.
won't be
They don't
listening.
listen to our podcast. And then you have a sister named
Bailey.
Bailey.
Yes.
Right.
Alternate spelling, but
Yes.
she does get a lot of, oh, you're Bailey.
Bailey. Right.
Yeah.
She's like, no.
No.
That would be bad.
So Johnson is your last name.
Yes.
and-
So awesome. What's your role within the store? So obviously it's a little clue right in front of us. For
Big
those
clue,
of you
yep.
that are listening and not watching, there's a bottle of wine and some glasses. So give us,
Delish.
what is your role within the store?
When I started out of college, my parents said, would you like to work with us? And I thought to myself, not really, but I love you guys, so
Right.
I'll give it a try. And I promised myself that I would, give it a go for a couple years, see how I liked it. And I really believe that if you don't think what you're doing is important, that you shouldn't be doing it. And so I promised myself that I would break their hearts and tell them if I didn't want to work there.
Where did you go to school? In Florida?
Yeah, up in Gainesville at the University of Florida.
Okay,
had so much fun. Yeah, I know, right? I stuck around for a couple degrees.
Okay.
And then, got sick enough of being the oldest person in Gainesville at 22 and thought about interviewing in my field. And my parents approached me before any of that started. And I said, why not? I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Could be worse,
what
right?
was your
Yeah,
field?
absolutely.
It was
Mental health counseling, interestingly
Really?
enough.
Which probably comes in handy, I'm thinking.
Yes.
probably the,
Good and
chaos
bad.
probably the most relevant thing you could have done.
Exactly.
family
Oh
business.
my God.
That's
So
awesome.
did you grow up on the island or you moved here as a
Moved
young
here.
child? How old were you when you moved to the island?
I actually went straight to school we all grew up in Jacksonville.
Okay.
Dad was in insurance before he came down for Charlie
Right.
to help rebuild.
Hurricane
so tell
Charlie,
everybody
which
what
was
Hurricane Charlie, 2004.
Yeah, 2004, yep.
One of the worst hurricanes that...
Worst
Sanibel-
hurricane they've seen in 40 years, and still the
At
worst.
least, yeah. Mhm.
Right. So
Yeah.
your dad and mom came to help the family business after Hurricane Charlie. I
Yes,
assume.
exactly. So Dad kind of stuck around, started working with my grandfather, and then they decided that they wanted to take a full-time role with the family business. So then that's when they made the decision to, everybody moved down here except me, and then Mom went back and forth
Gotcha.
while I finished high school.
Oh, you were still in high school up in
Yep.
Jacksonville. Gotcha.
And then I went straight over to Gainesville, and Bailey and Dane came down here.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
I see. All right. Well, I thought you were younger for some reason. So then your
Ripe
parents-
old age of 31.
Right.
And then, so now you've taken on the role of obviously the wine.
And obviously you didn't leave after 2 years. You're still here.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, so I should get back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ironically, nobody wanted, when the wine position became open, someone else was moving back home to Ohio. The wine position came open, and I kind of looked around, and nobody really wanted to do it. And I was like, is this a trick? How could this possibly? Because
Right.
as a student, a studious student in Gainesville, I did manage to try a few wines.
Okay.
Right. Of course.
So I had some wine experience.
Max, did you remember that from college?
No,
Definitely.
no.
Bush light.
No.
More bush light.
Yeah, more bush light for me.
Okay.
So I said, well, I'll give it a try. I don't know much about wine. And that's when my education started in wine. So
Right.
I learned a lot before I really tried to make any decisions
And
for
there's
the wine
so
department.
much to learn.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
I
gosh.
still don't know everything.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's possible for anybody, is it? No.
Well, there's some really, really sharp people who have some really impressive sommelier certifications, but I am nowhere near those people.
We actually had a sommelier of the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh, cool.
Was one of our customers the other day, and
Yeah.
super cool guy, interesting
really
guy,
neat.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ritz-Carlton down in Naples. But anyway, we went to you held an event recently.
Yes.
It was interesting, which I wasn't aware of, but when we got to the event, it was a wine tasting, obviously. But tell us a little bit about the group that put together the wine tasting. It was actually a really good wine, but with some lineage within the media world, golf
And
world.
golf,
So
right.
explain
Yes.
a little bit what its name and what it stands for and all the rest of it.
Sure. The Calling is the brand of wines that we were featuring that evening. And two gentlemen who are associated with that brand and several other brands, those folks are the supplier, if you will. I'm the retailer, and then I buy their wine through the distributor, who we did have a representative, but he didn't want to be featured speaker.
Gotcha.
And the association between golf, we had a putting green, which is unusual for a wine
Right.
tasting.
Right,
Which I know.
right.
We noticed it when we came in. We're like,
Yes.
what's going on here?
Yeah, that was a new thing for us. I said, I think people will like it. Let's give it,
it
a
was
try.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jim Nance is one of the part owners, and I'll have to go back and make sure I'm getting all this right.
Right.
And that's where the association came from. So he's a sports announcer. I'm not
Does
really
the
big on
Masters,
sports.
and
Okay.
he's a big golf announcer.
So
Right.
you know better than I do.
Right.
And he got into wine, always loved wine and always wanted to get into it, according to the story, and was, hugely passionate about it. So he thought that he didn't want to be one of those guys that just got in it as a hobby type thing, because he was passionate about wine. And he put together these group of guys that sourced, or a vineyard of professionals that have put together over the last 10 years, I believe, that pretty much every wine they've put out has gone 92 point or above. So it's like incredible success story for a young company that's had and I guess it shows the dedication of actually wanting to do something right. Rather than.
And then if you bought some wine, you could try out the putting, which I think intrigued Nick.
That was
yeah, so you had to buy 3 bottles of wine. So I was like, I'm in.
Yes.
And then I had a putt, and
you did sink the putt.
But
yes.
I needed to buy more wine to get more
right.
putts.
I think if you buy a case,
there
you
were
got
some ladies
3
that got 3 putts in
in a row. Yeah.
I'm not bitter.
One person got 6 in a row.
Right.
Oh, that
was pretty incredible.
I had no idea we had so many athletes at our wine tasting
I didn't
event.
either, because when Nick sung his, I'm like, yes, we won.
I was really proud of you.
Yeah.
No, we didn't win.
It was a short-lived
It was
celebration.
very short-lived. Anyway, is this something that you do regularly, these wine tastings that people in the audience can you tell us about?
The one in July I do is more of a locals, because that's who's around, and I want to make sure everybody who's here year round knows we appreciate them.
Yeah.
And we usually do one every fall and one sometime around spring, but not necessarily right in the middle of March.
Spring, right, the chaos.
Because that's hard to put anything else on anybody's plate.
And how can they find out about your events?
Well, I work really hard to make sure that they have to see it at some point. Okay. So you'll see it advertised in the store. You'll see it advertised in the papers. You'll see it advertised on our social media. And then we also have a wine list. So if anyone is listening and interested.
Yes, absolutely. Tell us how to do that.
You could call the store at 239-472-1516 or email me at cjohnson@baileys-sanibel.com.
Okay, and it's C Johnson, Johnsson.
Yes, thank you.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Yeah, and even if you can't make it to the events, if you're anybody that's into wine, definitely go to the section that Calli's set up. It's incredible, and it's not just. Sometimes you think about wine on Sanibel being super expensive, or there's some really, really good quality wines that are not going to break the bank, and there's some really, really good quality wines that maybe will, but there's really is something for everybody, and there's a huge range for the size of the store, so definitely check it out.
And I know Bailey's is going through a big transformation. Yes. Do you want to tell everybody about what's happening at the store?
I'd love to. There's not a lot to see yet.
Right.
But we are currently in the permitting process, which everyone knows is really
takes
fun
forever.
and exciting.
Like the wheels grinding. Yeah.
And after that is finalized, we'll start moving forward with a 3-step renovation. So first, people will see the parking lot being redone. This is all at this time, so this could change any minute. And then they'll see the exterior facade. We want the outside of the store to reflect the love and care that we put into the inside. Mm-hmm. And it finally will.
Right.
And then folks will see a full interior renovation at Bailey's.
Right. Anything special happening with your section?
It's going to get bigger.
Nice.
There you go. You heard it here first. It's going to be.
That's all that matters.
And just check out the plans. I think we have them on our website. The drawings that have been done by who's the architect? I wish I should have known.
Ray Fenton is the architect.
And he's done an absolutely fantastic job of actually incorporating the old architecture from the original store,
right.
With the overhangs and everything. There's going to be a big sort of rain walkway as you come in, but it's a real nod back to the original store.
And the actual original store can still be found at the Sanibel Historical Museum and Village.
History buff.
Yes. So make sure, and tell everybody, so the store has not always been in the place it is now.
That's true.
Can you tell everybody about that?
Through a series of hurricanes, it has changed locations. The original location was actually out on a wharf that was right next to where the causeway is now, where you come onto the island.
Right. So if you come across the causeway right before you hit Sanibel, look to your right. There's a beach there right now, and that used to be a wharf. And it used to house the store and probably some other properties too. So.
Yeah, my mom mentioned the other day how she used to take ice chips off the ice blocks that would arrive and make snowballs and throw them at her brother.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. But that was later, right? So I'm getting my history out of order. So the store on the wharf was blown down.
Yep.
And then they built a new store right next to the wharf. And that's the store, the new store, as Granddad would call it. That's the store in the historical village
Right.
now.
So that was
So they
built on
moved it
land.
off of the pier
And
back
onto land.
hard
Right.
ground, but
Yeah.
literally 100 yards away from
Right.
Yeah.
where it was. It wasn't.
And you can actually go down. So if you carry on to onto Sanibel, turn right on Periwinkle, and then your next immediate right is Bailey Road.
Yes.
Go all the way down to the end of Bailey Road, and you can actually stop there and actually see. It's a great view too. It's definitely worth a drive, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. You'd have to do it on a bike, though, because there's no parking.
Right. Or if you just
Unless
get
you
out
live on the
quickly. Right. I think they'll let you get out real quick. And
Don't let anyone see you. You'll
right.
be right.
Don't let right. It's, right. But it gives you a great view of the causeway.
Yeah.
So that's where it was. And it was there until when? Do you know when it moved to?
The 60s, I believe.
Right.
We started where we currently are in Bailey Center, kind of in downtown Sanibel, if you will, right at the intersection of Tarpon Bay and Periwinkle. I believe the original smaller iteration was built in the 60s.
Right.
You would know better.
And if you check out Malia's,
Malia?
yeah,
Oh.
she started a downtown Sanibel. And if she hasn't, it will actually be starting very soon now that I've pressured into it by mentioning it. She's got social media and she keeps putting it off. And she's actually starting it all, isn't she, Max? She's going to do a whole downtown.
Don't
news to
bring
me.
Max into
Downtown.
this.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
don't want to
say.
be in trouble.
She texted me one time about 6 months ago about this, but I don't know.
But it's
Fear the
official.
wrath.
It is official. Bailey's in that area is now downtown.
Downtown. We're
Sanibel.
calling it down.
Yes.
No,
Downtown.
Sanibel.
Oh,
Actually-
yeah.
As Richard calls it.
And Calli, did you use her?
Whoopsies.
Which your grandfather, he wrote a book, which you can buy in your store.
Yes.
And the very last page of the book tells everybody how to pronounce Sanibel, as we call it. How do you actually pronounce it?
Sanibel.
Sanibel.
Yeah.
Right.
Sanibel.
But people have argued with me about that, and I just say, oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know.
Do you still pronounce it Sanibel?
That's just something that we heard growing up, and
Yeah.
to me, I don't think of it differently, but
Right.
then it's pointed out to me, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it is different.
Right. Your dad definitely says it.
Yeah.
Too.
He makes a point of saying it.
Probably, yes. He's that type of person.
Right. Exactly. So as a child, you grew up in Jacksonville. Would you come to Sanibel?
Yeah, every holiday. And we came in the middle of August and sweat our little butts off on the beach.
Really? But do you have fond memories of that?
Absolutely. And we have lots of aunts and uncles, so a lot of times this would be a gathering place for our entire Bailey side of the family. So we would get to spend time with a lot of people we didn't get to see all the time.
Right.
And they all grew up here, so it was really neat experiencing childhood through their childhood.
Their eyes, right.
And if you stop and talk to my mom, she's got tons of really neat stories about, throwing guavas at cars on Periwinkle when it was a dirt road, running really fast away from the cars, chasing her for throwing fruit at their car.
Yes, we said it. We told Dane we need to have your mom on. So.
Oh my gosh, that would be like a diamond.
Yes, all right. Let's see
She's
if we
so
can make
shy.
that happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
So was that at the Bailey's house that you guys, the greenhouse? The greenhouse?
Mom grew up there,
Right.
and their whole family did. The last people to live there were her brother Pat and his family.
Okay.
And so Shane Antalik is the last kid to grow up there. And I
Right.
think he's a really neat guy to talk to, and I'm sure he'd be happy to share about that too.
And tell everybody where that house is located.
That house is on Periwinkle. It's now been kind of converted to SCCF's Native Landscapes Garden, and that's at the intersection of Donex.
Right. So it's still, you can tour the outside of it. I think maybe sometimes they have it open. Maybe.
Sometimes they do, yeah.
But not always. But you can actually, the outside it's cool. It's very
really
peaceful.
neat.
And
You can see where the fruit was grown because the ground actually is in rows still.
Gotcha.
There's a bathtub buried in the yard somewhere that we don't know. Richard, Dad, has a great story of staying in the honey house, which is the little house right next to it, when he was visiting as Mom's boyfriend.
Really?
wow.
How'd your
Oh,
mom
that's
and dad meet? Do you know?
I think he kind of harassed her at the library, is what you would say now. But
Yeah.
back then, he, romantically pursued her while she was trying to be studious at the library at college. And
Where'd
so
they go to school?
she was at, it was in Virginia. Oh, I'm going to be in so much trouble now. And he was at the
somewhere.
community college nearby,
gotcha,
right?
Right.
And so he had, I guess, met her in passing and then, started going to the library. My understanding is that he wasn't a great student, but he did enjoy going to that specific library where she was studying. And then I think he talked her into a date and, he's very charming. So
The rest is history.
Right.
yeah, exactly.
So when are we going to open this wine then? Come on.
Oh, yeah. Shall we?
Oh,
yeah, tell us about the wine.
Okay.
Right.
I'd love to. So this is Bertani. We tasted all American wine last time, so I figured I'd bring something different.
Okay.
So I brought an Italian wine. This is Amarone from Italy by Bertani, which is one of the classic producers, and I hope it shows really well even in the Florida heat.
Yes, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, so we had...
We just walked down.
Have you been to Italy to do some wine tastings?
We had a really fun trip planned.
Oh no, don't tell me COVID.
Yeah.
We were going to go for truffle season, and that was right the fall after the spring of COVID. So
Gotcha.
that was a huge bummer.
Still on your list.
We had
of things to
a
do.
great time.
Yes.
We had the good fortune to go for my goddaughter's wedding
Yes.
in Florence, and it was
but right
fantastic.
during Hurricane Irma, so our kids were all here.
my
I'm
gosh.
thinking they're going to be blown away by a hurricane.
Yeah.
In my mind, so I need a do-over. I keep saying because I did not enjoy it as much as I should because I honestly thought my kids were. I would never see them again.
Yeah, I would be worried about
Shows how
that
much you
if I
trust
was
your
you.
sister and your brother-in-law who are looking after them.
You know.
Okay, if you'll throw your glasses down.
Am I actually coming in?
All right.
What does it say?
I'm on my way.
Islands Wine Society.
Oh, yeah, so I brought you guys some commemorative glassware.
Here we go over here.
This is a little thing we started to kind of share more about how Bailey's is really great wine selection and the prices are affordable and, it's not just what you might expect walking into a grocery store wine section.
Exactly.
And the bottom says Carpe Winum, which is seize the wine, which
Oh, okay.
I thought
I was gonna
I
ask
was real
you what-
smart for coming up with that.
I like that. That's a great idea.
So what put you onto this one? Is it just one of your faves, or is it?
Yeah, this is like a classic, awesome wine, and I happen to have a couple extra cases, so I figure I'd share some with you guys.
Cheers. Let's try it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
And
Cheers.
if you
cheers,
hate
Max.
it, I didn't make the wine. How about that?
Exactly.
Well,
How would we describe this wine?
It's a light aromatic red, made in Italy. One of the classics. People who
it's
enjoy
really
wine
nice.
will know it. Yeah.
reminds me of Chianti. No, was it Classico? What's the one in Florence? With the cockerel.
Yeah, the cockerel.
What's the one?
All of them. That's a quality signal.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ones with the
Yeah.
cockerel on it.
Well done.
We're not big. We like wine, but I wouldn't say
Yeah.
we know nothing. We don't know much about it.
We've got.
I drink
few
most of mine out of a
go-tos.
box.
We got a few go-tos that we stick to, and then we occasionally veer off the.
Yeah.
Wait, so is the Islands Wine Society, is it a group?
Sort of. It's just a group of people that like hearing about Bailey's wine news.
Okay.
So that's the newsletter that you talked about that you could be on.
Yeah, a little
that's
bit.
kind of like the.
We try to send something out when we have events happening, not really spam people, just let people know either if I have some really good deals, some special wine that I can't usually get.
Gotcha.
Especially around the holidays, people are looking for really fancy stuff. And then also just, anything happening.
Right. So if people go into Bailey's, are you usually in that section? Can they come
Sometimes.
find you?
Yes, they can always ask for me.
Okay.
And our staff are really good at tracking me down.
Right.
I spend some of my time at Bailey's, and then I spend some of my time at the Island store, which is our store on Captiva.
Right.
So I order all the liquor and wine for all three stores.
Okay. And where's the third store? Tell everybody.
Bailey's Marketplace at Sundial.
Okay. Yes. Which is wonderful to have that little
It is
store over
convenient.
there.
So
Yes.
just to give people an idea of the selection, how many different wines do you know roughly? How many you've got?
Oh my
at
gosh,
Bailey's?
thousands.
Thousands?
But I know every one of them. It's like trying to pick a favorite kid.
Okay. So
Oh,
we
really?
can't ask.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone loves, they're like, oh, you're a wine connoisseur. I'm like, well, I wouldn't call myself that, but I'm the wine buyer. What are you thinking? And usually people's first question is, what's your favorite wine?
Right.
And that's really
impossible.
a loaded question.
Yeah.
There's so many great wines for all different, situations, different family members. So like I know what everybody likes in my family. Right. So I try to tailor the wine to the situation. I like cooking. So the wine should go well with the food as well.
Right. How about what's the most popular thing you sell? Can you say that?
Yeah, of course. And the distributor that I buy this from will be really happy for me to say this. Sure. And this won't be a surprise to anybody. Right. Whitehaven Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand is my #1 seller since 2022 started.
Really?
Yes. And anyone who drinks Sauvignon Blanc will know that label. That? Yeah, exactly. And there's lots of great Sauvignon Blancs, especially out in New Zealand. And I like to think Whitehaven does a really good job for the price. So you're right in between 10 and 20 bucks at Bailey's. And you're looking at quality that drinks a little bit more than that. So it's a good deal.
Have to try that.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. What about, what's the most popular red wine that's sold?
Good question. It used to be Meiomi Pinot Noir, but it's probably Josh Cab right now, which is
I have a couple of bottles of that.
Yeah, so it's an affordable, drinkable cab out of California. People like it. I've managed to be able to keep a good price on it for a while. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I like Josh. I like Joel as well.
Yep. Oh, Josh and Joel.
Right.
Joel. That's two of my go-tos.
Max, what do you think of the wine? Tell us your thoughts about this wine.
Not that I have a great background on wine, but I think it's delicious.
Is it quaffable?
Yeah, very quaffable.
Oh my god!
I don't know what that means, but I agree.
It means you can chug it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, maybe not that.
That's a fancy way of saying chuggable.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to pass on that one.
Right. And so tell us, what are the Bailey's hours? Where can they?
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell us all that good
We're
stuff.
in downtown Sanibel at the corner of Tarpon Bay and Periwinkle. Our COVID hours started as 7 to 7, and everybody really likes those. So we're sticking with 7 to 7.
And that's 7 days a week?
Every day except for Christmas with a few modifications. 7 to 9.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm. And through COVID, we managed to kind of train everybody into getting there before 7. I know that's hard for people with young kids and stuff, but we do also have an awesome delivery service.
Right, yes. I was just my next question. Tell us everybody about the delivery service.
We do delivery and pickup, of course, for all accommodations on Sanibel and Captiva. And in special circumstances, we'll even run stuff over the bridge. We get a lot of people who move over.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes. And then it's complimentary for orders over $250. So if you're shopping for a family of 3 for the week,
that's easy to hit that.
Yeah. And then we'll come in. It's great for the travelers because we'll stock your unit before you even get there.
That's great.
And everything's put away. All the cold stuff is in the right spot.
Oh,
I get a lot of worried moms.
Right.
Yeah.
Making sure the milk is put away.
Well, because you can't just leave the milk on the counter.
No.
But, you don't think about that. And you might not expect that level of service if you're coming from a different part of the country. But as you guys know, we try to work really hard to treat our customers like family.
Yes.
How would you do that? You would go online to order that service?
Yes, exactly. Our website is an all-in-one shopping site. So all of the information is actually connected to the online shopping site. And there's a search bar where you can just simply search the items that you're looking for and add them. Or you can shop through the categories just like you would the aisles of the stores. And then there are some items that aren't available online, but you can always type them in. So like if you know that we sell beach umbrellas, that hasn't been uploaded to our online shopping yet because it's not really a traditional grocery item. But you can put, hey, I'd like, this bottle of vodka from the grog shop next door, this type of beach towel from the hardware store, and we'll put that all on your order for you.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
And speaking of that, you're not just a grocery store. You have a coffee shop right
It's
when
a
you come
general
in.
store,
It is.
yes.
Like, that's true.
Hardware store. Come on.
Yeah, the hardware store.
Yeah.
You have the coffee bar. You have the awesome bakery, which you walk straight past as you come in, and like everything
hard to
looks
resist.
amazing.
I've trained myself. I don't even walk by it anymore because I just can't look at it.
Best stop for breakfast.
Right. And one of our favorites is the hot counter where you have hot meals ready to go. So if you want to go in and grab lunch, breakfast, dinner too, you can grab at a great price.
They have some great food.
Yeah, it's a steal, especially when you come with like a family of 5. Eating out gets quick.
Right.
Expensive really fast.
Yeah.
So being able to come just get breakfast and get your day started. Yeah. Bailey's favorite thing is our, what is it? The sausage gravy. Yes.
Yes.
I think Dane said he liked that
She
too.
brags about that all the time. And then I pretty much like everything that we make, but our donuts are all baked or fried in-house every night. Jeff, the grumpy donut maker.
The grumpy donut maker.
I can say that because I know he won't watch this, but everyone who knows him will agree.
He's grumpy.
But he makes great donuts.
Right.
And he even does like limited edition hurricane donuts when we have a storm coming.
Yeah. So if you follow and you're on social media, if you follow your social media page, you're always posting about
I
people
try
back there
to keep everyone in the loop.
Yeah.
Yes.
So definitely follow that too.
What's that? At Bailey's of Sanibel, correct?
Yes. Thank you.
Got it.
And that's Facebook and Instagram?
And Instagram, yep.
Have you hit TikTok yet?
I do the social media, so since I haven't put a lot of effort into figuring out TikTok, our TikTok is suffering.
Gotcha.
I'll have to find a new generation to help me with TikTok.
There you go. There you go. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So yeah, we definitely hit Bailey's all the time for lunch.
Yes, we do.
Well, thank you guys.
Yes.
We appreciate your business.
Too much, yes.
A little too much, yes.
Yeah.
I know, and
it's too convenient.
Yeah, it is, and even me walking around.
That's got to be even worse because it's a hand,
so
it's
bad.
a grab away.
I see all the brand new stuff.
Yeah.
I try to make sure everybody knows about it, but sometimes there's just so many cool stuff.
And of course, you have to taste it to tell everybody.
Absolutely.
Give it a recommendation.
Yes, I just did that last night. I saw these awesome pretzels that just came in. They're frozen. And I had to take them home and try them, even though I was planning on eating a salad for dinner.
And you went for the pretzel
We know how that goes.
Yeah. Salad went out the window. Yeah. I was like, salad who?
Salad who? So you live on the island?
Yep.
Yeah?
I am about halfway between Bailey's and our Captiva store, which is terribly convenient.
Yeah.
Right where Ding Darling lets out. There's a couple neighborhoods back there, and I won't locate myself too much.
Yeah, what's your address?
Yeah.
Your phone number and everything.
The reason I was saying it is actually being that you're one of the younger generation living on the island. We were at the wine tasting, and obviously that's a lot to do with it, with you being there and your age and everything. But there was a lot of guests there that you wouldn't expect to see on Sanibel. There was a lot of a younger crowd there. There was a few guys that we met, a couple of people I met that I didn't know. Some people I did know, but it's surprising.
Some that have just moved down here during the pandemic.
Cool?
Has
it's so
a bunch
cool
of
because I
people.
think typically, I mean, we've been around here for
23
years, but I think when I moved here, I was the same age as you. I was 32, and it seemed like I was the youngest by many decades.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's changing.
It is, yeah, absolutely. Especially with COVID, I've noticed that there's a lot of younger families with kids who just wanted to kind of get out of the rough and tumble of us living in a big city.
Yeah.
And the Sanibel school is basically like a private school that's public.
Right.
So they come here, put their kids in the school.
And it goes through K through 8.
Yep,
so your
exactly.
kids are here.
And we did, we met, gentleman's name?
I don't know.
Richard? No, it wasn't. I'm sorry.
Was it Josh?
I'm sorry.
I know everyone's name, so quiz me.
The physician that moved
Paul,
here.
I think.
The physician that moved to...
It doesn't matter. It
doesn't matter.
No one
Nobody knows
no
him.
one's watching.
Oh, we're making bad YouTubing here. We must continue. Yeah, keep people interested.
But anyway, he stood next to us, and we were chatting with a couple of people, and and he basically stood really close and said, "Have you ever had that feeling where somebody knows you and you don't know them?" And I said, "I'm having it right now." And he told a story about how he'd watched our videos. He got a offered a job at the local hospital, and one of the surgeons offered to take him around, and he looked at downtown, he looked all around, and he was just blah about it. Then he said he came across the causeway.
I'd never heard of Sanibel.
Never heard of Sanibel, from New York City, and probably your age, and comes across the causeway and was like, didn't say anything because he didn't want to be over enthusiastic.
Right.
But when they came off and got out of the company of the surgeon, and they were like, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" And they both agreed, like, "Yes, this is our place."
Yeah.
And apparently, from that moment on, they watched every single one of our videos and which toured all around the island and everything. It was so cool to hear his story.
Bought a house here in Gumbo Limbo,
Yeah.
and the kids. I think they have 3 kids, and
Yeah, it was such a cool story. But that's the reason. The only reason I'm bringing that up is it seems to be more of a common story.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of younger
Absolutely.
people are moving down here and just that can. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, it's
exactly.
Awesome. It's awesome.
Do you,
Really is cool.
so your time off work, what do you do?
What do I do? Well,
Drink wine.
I sometimes
Eat
drink wine.
pretzels.
We were lucky enough to get into our house at affordable price. And now we've saved up enough where we just bought our first boat.
Very cool.
Yes, so we've been doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a diver, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also have kind of a side hustle at FGCU where I teach scuba.
Oh, awesome.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that's my fun fact.
That's a fun fact. No, were you a diver? I think so.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. So-
Not a scuba diver.
You mean
pool
No,
diver.
no.
Oh,
Scuba only, yes.
Scuba only. For some reason, maybe
So,
somebody
high
told-
diving.
Somebody
Is
told
that what you're
me.
talking about?
No,
Yeah, I thought.
you probably
Yes, I was confusing the two. For some reason, I had in my mind that you were.
Thank you for clarifying that. I wish. Those people are way cool.
Bubbles rather than jumping.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, scuba.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, so that's a class at FGCU, or is it
It
something?
is.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, they'd never had that in my class, my school.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what a lot of people say. Yes.
So if
Your
anybody's
school was
in-
also in Central Ohio, where there's no
That's true.
scuba
Well
diving.
put.
Right.
Yeah. Is that
Very
where your
true.
accent's from?
Yeah,
Central Ohio?
Ohio.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
That's so
tell.
distinctive.
Very Ohio. Mhm.
Exactly.
Well,
Very cool.
For people that don't know, tell me what do you think of the diving around here? I mean, it's do you dive? Do you do most of your lessons in a pool, or is it actually in the ocean? Or
We do both, and
Do
we
both.
try to go all over Florida. And the diving here that I do is more research focused for some of the PIs at FGCU. And then, of course, I dive for fun, and I like to spearfish. So that's
So just if you're not familiar with it, here this area is superb for spearfishing.
yeah.
It's not so great if you want to go around. Looking
No,
at,
it's not like Cozumel.
Yeah, I mean,
beautiful
but
clear water.
that's what makes it so good for spearfishing, because
Right.
the visibility isn't fantastic,
Right.
because it's very shallow water. But
But to get to the other
relatively.
coast it's not
No,
far to get
yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
I think
couple
Max
hours.
did your
I did my
checkout.
checkout dive
In
in
West Palm?
West Palm, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much prettier.
Yes,
Yeah, and
you
then
can
he
see
did
a lot
his-
more.
He's
Yeah, you can
training
see
in the in some lake in the middle of.
I wouldn't even
Lake
call it a
Denton.
lake. It was a hole filled with water.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was gross.
Awesome. All right. All right. So have you got some questions for us, Max?
Yes, actually, Millie
Let me-
wrote these questions.
Oh, what are you saying? Are you
Do we need
drumming,
more
Millie?
wine before we do them?
I think we need a top up. We need a top
Look,
up.
I'm almost
Yeah.
done with mine. You guys have to catch up.
Yeah, keep up.
All right.
So we
so-
need some pens.
Hold on,
Let's see.
Max.
I'm-
More important things are pressing.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you need a
We're filling the
refresh,
wine.
Max?
I'm all good.
There's buttons to be pressed.
Exactly.
There you
Okay.
go.
Okay.
All right.
Cheers, everybody.
Trivia to be
yours.
trivia'd. All right. First question.
Oh, wait. Can I get some rules here?
Yes.
Answer the question.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
So you're gonna write down the answer on your board. Don't show my mom because she'll look at your board before you show it, and I'll call on someone to show their answer. Whoever gets the answer right gets a point.
And how many do we have today?
We have 3, tentatively 4 if necessary.
Okay, if we need a tiebreaker, we're going for the 4th.
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right,
Okay.
go.
Wine grapes were first grown in which U.S. state? We have a very
Oh.
wine-centric
It's something weird.
trivia this time.
Oh, so obviously I would have written the obvious one, so maybe I shouldn't.
Oh,
because-
I'm just going to scrub out the obvious one then.
But maybe the obvious
Calli-
one is
maybe
obvious because
Calli-
it's the right answer.
Maybe she's putting us off by saying that.
No,
Something weird.
I'm pretty sure Something weird. Now I don't know. I don't know.
I
Ready?
can't say anything.
All right, Nick, you go first then. If
Oh,
you
I
think
did
you
have
it.
California, but I put San Francisco.
But did you say?
Oh my God.
What? What did you say?
San Francisco's not a U.S. state.
Oh,
It's
no,
a city
In California.
in California.
Okay, so California.
I don't know if I've ever taken a point away before anyone's gotten a point, but I think I'm giving you negative points for
I
that.
think so. Look, we had the same. I put Virginia.
Max, you warned me.
Virginia.
I did not cheat.
The answer is, I know, right?
Check the tape. I did not.
It's okay. Even if mom was cheating, you're both wrong. The
Is
answer.
it Missouri?
Nope.
Oh, wait. Let me
It's
keep
San
guessing.
Francisco.
It's
Indiana.
California.
All right, I'll give you 48 more
Kentucky.
guesses.
California.
47 more guesses.
Okay,
give us a region. Give us a region.
Southeast.
I've got it. Hold on,
Southeast.
I've got it.
Georgia?
No. I've got
Southeast-
it.
more
I've got
southeast
it,
than
I've got it.
Georgia.
It's got to be on the hills. and
Mississippi?
No,
it's
more
Carolina.
southeast than that.
Louisiana.
Carolinas.
Florida.
No way.
Yes.
I'm as surprised as you guys
That's
are.
why I asked, because it was
There's no
an
hills
interesting
there.
fact.
There's
Is
no,
it because
is.
of the Spanish influence?
Oh, that could be.
That
Oh,
could be
yeah.
it. I didn't look
there's
that deep
no
into
morning
it.
frost.
I didn't know.
There's no morning.
Well, you can
don't
grow
need
really
corn?
shitty wine in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's true. It doesn't
Am I
have
allowed
be
to
good.
say shitty?
Yes.
Let me just see if
Wine-
I can say shitty.
So was
one more
that
time.
Florida or was that Tallahassee?
We need the beeper.
Wine
to beep
grapes
out
were grown in Florida earlier than anywhere else in the United States, according to Florida Wine
You know
Wikipedia
why?
page.
Because there was
Florida
only
Wine
people in
Wikipedia?
Florida.
That's not a source.
It is because I wrote it down.
That's an FSU source. How
Yeah.
about that?
Exactly. All
right.
right.
For the sake of this
the
episode, it's a
state
reliable
of San
source.
Francisco. I
The
know
state
it.
of San Francisco.
He was
right.
so confident too. All
All right. Now that we
Right.
know that fact,
Okay.
California is home to 3,674 wineries.
Mm-hmm.
How many
Name them
is
all.
Florida home to?
Now?
Closest gets it. Being that it's the first ever wine grape growing state, how many wineries are there?
Are you putting us off?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think.
I have my answer.
Okay, I do too. Nick's still writing. That's a long number you're writing there, Nick.
Laurie, my
gone to 7
answers
digits.
are here to surprise you. And they do.
All right, I'm going first. I put 10. Callie, what'd you put?
103.
Dad.
I put 3.5 because one of them doesn't take it seriously, so he's only half a vineyard.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, had you not put the decimal in, you would have been correct. It's
It was
35.
35. Oh,
Yeah.
I still win.
No, you do
No,
not.
you do not. Mom wins.
Yeah, 10.
35. So somehow they started off strong and became the first winery, and then fell off
way.
drastically once California came into the picture. I
Well,
think.
once Ponce de Leon moved out of Jacksonville, I'm sure. Or St. Augustine. Is that what it was? Yeah. He moved.
Real history buff over there on the
I
end.
know, I'm making it up. I know.
Yeah.
He was killed. Well, not killed here, but he was shot in the
Yeah,
San
wasn't
Carlos
it?
Bay.
Yeah.
Yes. with
Yeah,
an
by the
arrow, but-
natives.
yeah, and then
And
he
that killed
the
him.
Calusas, and then he went back to Cuba, and he actually died in Cuba.
Sorry, we're in the
Yeah, can we have a moment of silence
Right.
for Ponce de Leon?
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
All right,
All right.
Callie,
Last
this
one?
one you got to get this one.
I know.
Because
I'm
it's
pretty
0,
embarrassed.
1,
According-
0.
He has -1. Anyway,
0, 1, -1.
according to eatthisnotthat.com,
Oh, no.
Oh,
Florida's-
what a credible source.
What's
that
up
is.
with these sources?
Florida's favorite wine is what? Not brand,
Wait,
but
I need to clarify.
it's the most consumed wine in Florida.
Not
By
By
Floridians.
type?
Eat this.
no,
not-
wait, by grape or by?
So we're talking
Is
like
it wine
red,
from Florida or is it wine
white?
international?
It's an international wine. It's a very
Are we looking for a type?
I
okay.
know
Okay,
what
I'm
this
gonna
is.
give you guys one that it is not, and then you have to.
No, I know what it is. It's cougar juice.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not it.
No.
Okay,
There's a
but-
grape. Oh,
No,
don't
it's-
look. Don't look.
Hold on. So
juice.
Sauvignon
Where did that
Blanc.
come from?
What is Sauvignon
juice.
Blanc? It's that. That's that
It's
type of wine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
looking for one of those, but it's not Sauvignon Blanc. I'll
Okay.
give
I
you
know
a
what
hint.
it is.
You know it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready. Nick's still writing. Again.
I haven't started yet.
Oh, he
Laurie.
hasn't started.
I need to put some explanation, and I spelt it wrong.
Wait, is it white or red?
No comment.
Okay.
No comment.
I want you to go first, Nick.
Chardonnay.
Ooh, I put that too.
Same.
Chardonnay.
Same. Cougar juice.
Pinot Grigio.
Pinot Grigio
is I'm sure Eat This Not That did some extensive research to come to that conclusion.
Isn't that where they tell you to eat this because it's less calories than that?
Yeah.
So they might
Anyway.
they might have some skin in the game here, Max.
Exactly.
All right. Bonus question. Does anyone know the goddess of wine?
Is she sitting in this room?
Yes.
There you go.
It's Calli Johnson.
Yes.
Calli.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Read it in the Greek texts.
Yes.
They got us a
Callaway. What's your middle name?
Mead.
Callaway Mead Johnson, which
Oh,
is your
yes.
mom's name.
Yes.
That's a great
I
name.
remember
Love
that
it.
one in
the
Goddess of wine.
Oedipus. It is Amphictyonius.
What? Spell that?
Amphictyonius.
Spell that,
You
please.
can't spell it.
Amphictyonius.
All right. If anybody knows how to say that, please let us know. Right.
All right, so Mom, do you win with 1 point?
I do.
The lamest win ever. Oh, I just turned the camera off.
Did I end up with
Negative
minus
one.
one?
You end with negative 1 point.
I'm actually quite pleased with that score after that pathetic answer.
Yeah. Those were tough questions.
Yeah.
And even worse
I
answers.
agree.
Yes. Oh my God.
Clearly, I
Again, it was
Florida.
Millie. It was Millie's fault. It was Millie's fault.
It was Millie's fault.
Yeah.
What do you
It
even
was
say?
Millie.
Who is Millie? You're keep
Also,
referring to Millie.
Millie, thank you for joining us today.
Is Millie on the
Yes.
camera? I don't
Can
even
you-
know.
she is.
She is if you
There
turn
she
the
is.
camera on. So
Okay, we
Millie,
can't see.
Millie
Okay.
started interning with us today a little bit. She's helping us out with our blog and
Hey, guys.
website, and we've been doing some lessons with Laurie, haven't we?
Extensive learning. With
Extensive
Laura.
learning with Laurie, and she's very meticulous. So we've
With
got this.
quizzes and everything.
We got these
Quiz,
10
all
parts
kinds
that
of
we had to go through, and we couldn't skip a part. Laurie wouldn't let us
I
skip
was
a
Not
part.
even a second.
I kindly
No, it was
handed off
not.
my trivia duties to her as well.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well,
There we
yeah,
go.
because you weren't here, but that's all right. All right. Well, thanks
right.
for your help, Millie. Thanks for helping us out. Awesome. Well, thanks very much.
Anything we missed that you want to tell everybody?
Any upcoming events? Anything happening?
Anything? Just come
Oh,
to
man.
Bailey's.
I knew there was going to be a quiz at the end.
Just go.
Just come visit us.
come visit.
Any slogans,
it.
catchphrases that you need?
Since 1899.
There we go.
There
That
you
should
go.
have been the quiz.
Like
yeah,
it, like it.
1899. And amazing to the community. You guys are.
Yeah, back in
Donating.
2004 with the hurricane.
between
the whole store
1899.
was giving stuff away, and
Yeah.
I mean they've always been about the community. So make sure you support them when you come here.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of the home delivery, not just because it's home delivery. There's nothing new in that, but what a time saver if you're coming here with a big family. Easily is going to spend over $250,
Yeah.
and then you can have it all set up, ready to go. You haven't even got to go to the store.
And get your
Yeah.
wine.
And make sure you get
too.
some wine. Yes,
Right.
excellent. Well, thanks for
Because-
bringing the
Cheers.
wine as well.
Cheers.
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 Thoroughly enjoyed
Cheers
it.
to Max.
Cheers, Max.
Thanks very much for joining us. What's that? Cheers to
Oh,
camera.
there
There
you
you
go.
go.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much for joining us. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And make sure you go out and check out Bailey's General Store. And if you have found any of this content remotely useful, you might want to consider subscribing and liking the channel, and then you get notified whenever something comes up. So thanks very much. Have a good one, guys.
Cheers.
Okay, and a quick shout out to our supporters. Without our supporters, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. Bailey's General Store, Dock Ford's Rum Bar and Grill, Spoondrift Island Bowls, 3 Crafty Ladies, GatorBites Tail and Ale, Priscilla's of Sanibel, Coco E Cabana, Suncatchers Dream, and Sanibel Carts.